actually a graduate of an engineering degree. I did mechanical engineering for building systems from University of Kansas. And then I did quite well. They offered me to do a master's degree in architecture, and they told me that they would transfer some credits. And so I did do that. So I'm actually have a master's degree in architecture as well. And in 2002, I received my license. I became licensed in the state of Illinois and Indiana. And then I quit my job and started building homes. I started with I didn't go to the really cheap homes, but to maybe a step up home. And then really did quite well. I got to 2007, 2008. I was doing 10, 15 nice homes a year. I had some lots and a time of a line of credit. And for some reason, the economic news did not sit very well. I'm probably conservative in my nature. So I sold everything. I sold my final two homes. I run, I guess, my business based on philosophy. So I trying to save money. So I was building two homes right next to each other, so I can use the same dumpsters, same porta potty, same subs can go here and here. And I sold one for a loss, and the other one for a gain. But the average was flat. I did not make any money beyond that venture. So I took that money, and a friend of mine kind of got me into this idea of countertops. I really thought it was just a temporary thing until things go back to being normal. And here we are 16 years later, and 42 employees and 15 kitchens a day. It's like really kind of got into, it suited my thinking, I guess. I think my engineering degree and my architecture degree kind of really played well in this industry. One, the technical side, and the other one is more of a customer service design type of aspect to it. I did my first job. We did quite well. I still remember my first sale, lady by the name of Jerry, and I looked it up the other day because somebody asked me that. It was a giallo ornamental job. She walked in. I already had 3 employees. I started with employees. I was like, man, I gotta sell this lady. So I sold her my first job, and then about a year and a half later, we were in the recession. We were having some issues, but for some reason, I opened the shop in a nice area. I actually got a map of all of Chicago. I put every shop on that map, and I kind of picked the spots where there wasn't that many, and I liked the idea. My parents, I live in Indiana, so I wanted to be close to Indiana. So I'm on the south side of Chicago. So about a year and a half into it, we were doing well. We really did. We were growing in the recession. And then I had this Typhoon Bordeaux basement bar in Orland Park, and it was curved. And the very first, the client called in. She said, "You gotta come and see it." I went there, and it was not a perfect circle. So needless to say that about 8 months later, there was a shop in Homer Glen that went out of business. And I said, and it was brand new shop. They had a Breton machine, CNC machine. I went there for the pre-auction thing. I liked the CNC. It was practically brand new. And then about 8, 9 months later, I had the CNC machine. So I was always comfortable with CAD. So Laser Products came to me and said, you can do this with the laser. So man, you can't lose with that.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the CNC, I didn't have, so I was ahead of my machinery. So we were printing templates and putting the templates on the slabs on the Yukon saw. So it was like just 2 steps ahead, and then you're going back. And then the CNC came, and we started scribing walls. I was able to get a lot more higher end builders than I had before. Some builders even back then, it's like, you don't have the machine, you're not working with us. So I got the machine. That was a huge burst of a flux of business that came our way. We continue to modernize, and we went from I think 6,000 square feet to right now we have 22,000 square feet. We're almost at the whole building. So am I giving you the information you need?
Yep, absolutely.
So we really, I'm not a salesman. I'm more of a professional. So every time I hire somebody, I don't like aggressive sales tactics. I really don't. I think even until now, if I help a client, or they will tell me we're ready to buy. I think that I go to it with a more answer the questions and the sale will come. Be nice to them and the sale will come. Take care of their client and the client, and they will always refer you. That kind of thing. I think sales is the secondary to how you present yourself and your professionalism. So it worked for us quite well, for me and GMD and the whole team. I have the first 3 hires I hired in 2007 are still with me. Okay. And I think Claudia's here for 10 years. We don't have a very high turnover in people. Our CNC machine, our programmer is 5+ years. I have to say that it wasn't easy. About 6 years ago, we gained a very, very big, 2 clients. One is a big builder, 400 or 500 homes a year, and the other one is even bigger. And so we were not really set up for that flex. I don't think many shops are set up for that many homes extra. It's extra. Yeah. So we practically added 30% of our business. So we were not set up. We didn't have the processes. So I said, I'm not gonna let the sales come and we'll figure it out. And sure enough, we put the client's requirements. We struggled, quality, sales, things like that. But we were ahead, and then we went back and we created the processes, got the machines we needed. We worked a lot of overtime, went back and fixed things. And I think one of the builders that I talked to, I want to say maybe 6 months ago, he told me, when we hired you, you were good, but now you're really, really good. So I think it worked out for us. Probably hindsight, maybe it was just it was too scary. I worked long hours and worked my guys a lot of overtime, but it really, it worked out for us. And then that's when I think when we increased that many, I did change our entire company setup. We were small, I think maybe 21, 22. Now we're 40, 42. So we took out responsibilities from certain people. Like, you can't do everything. You gotta do the schedule with this person, and people did not like it. So I did have about 3 key people leave at the same time, and one of them regrets it. He wants to come. Actually, she wants to come back, and we said no, thank you. We modernized. I learned more aware. More aware. I was creating my own processes. I was creating my own forms, and I was doing the colors for the different steps, and you gotta authorize, so it's a red before authorization, and then so all these activities were color coded. And it really is it kind of helped me maneuver through this expansion. And then our shop is all mechanized. We got a slabsmith, though if it's not in slabsmith, it's not on the website, and it really doesn't exist in my mind. Anything I want, I look on the internet. We scan. We got the new module from Slabsmith. We're scanning with the gun every remnant Friday afternoon, late in the day. We know exactly what we have. We program, and our programmer just program, and then we have machinists. And then we schedule production for our fabricators. So we know exactly how many square feet they are producing every day. And we have quality control guy. We have on the speed label. We are paperless too. When we started this process 3 years ago, we eliminated all paperwork.
Okay.
We print in only one sheet, and that is the salesperson or the shop operation manager will print a shop ticket. It's laminated, so it's waterproof, and it makes the full circle. Starts from the office, goes to the programmer, so he knows what shop ticket, if there's multiple shop tickets. We do have, our process. It says final, and all the other ones become, in process or old.
Sure.
But nevertheless, it's the proof is in the shop ticket that you have in your hand. And then it goes to the machinist, it goes to the fabricator, it goes to the installer, and it comes back to the office. If there's an issue with it, the sticker of the piece with an issue comes back with it, so we know what to reproduce. It's I really think that we've invested a lot of time, and then we started running into issues of not keeping up with production. And I know we had enough machines, so it's a matter of knowing what machines are doing. So I went with Park to a shop in Orlando when I was at one of the covering shows. And when I was there, I went there and I loved one thing about it only, other than the Baca. I loved the BP metrics. I loved it. I thought it was, man, I don't even know how often my machine works. I mean, what if the machine was not working? I had this perception that it's working, we're pushing hard. But then I called him from the airport and he said, oh, I wish you called me yesterday. We just sold, so I can't really sell you. You got to wait for the new owner. I said, okay. So I really didn't want to wait. So I looked and I took pictures of their setup, and you needed this big box by each machine. There's a disconnect. You need an electrician, big wires. So I did some research, and there was a company right here in Chicago that was selling sensors. And the sensors were remote wireless sensors. So you just basically, if this is the finger, the wire, you just clamp a sensor there, and it sends if the machine is working or not working into the cloud. So I signed up for it, and 3 weeks later, it was running, minimal charge because no electricians, nothing. And we started working with that company to create our own reports, overtime reports, utilization reports, how many hours for maintenance reports, late start, early stop, meaning we turn the machine on at 8, but it doesn't work till 9:30. Why? And we customized the interface so that every time the machine stops for more than 15 minutes, this screen comes on, this thing pops on your screen, and you gotta, the only way to get rid of it is to click on one of the reasons why the machine stopped for more than 15 minutes. So no material, no program, no, broke down. So the machinist would select one of them, and we were able to pinpoint exactly why the machines were down. In the beginning, no program and no material. So we started working on why do we have no now we require 3 programs per machine. Why is the material not there? Now we print the pick sheets from Slabsmith the day before, and they bring the material. They start from the last job to the first job, so it's on the front. We implemented a new program where when we got rid of our Yukon, that space we freed up to our top 15 sellers. So the remnants are right next to the side. You don't have to take it away, bring it back, reduces scratching and things like that. So we were able to really improve operations. We went up from 51, 52 utilization. Now on a typical day, we're 85, 90. So in essence, I got an extra saw.
Yeah.
It's our operation is really, really quite efficient. And we've had 2 events here this year. The Rockheads came and ISFA came. And we now started commercializing that software, and the reports that we created. We're actually trying to sell it, and we sold it to, I think there's about 40 machines since the beginning of the year that are being monitored. and reported by our reports. We're working with that company. So,
Nice.
you know, the technology, I think the only way you can distinguish yourself these days is you got to have technology, got to have efficiency. This is the old way of doing business is gone. Hand polishing and all that kind of stuff is gonna, I think it's gonna stop.
Yeah. So if you were to say what differentiates you from, you know, other fabricators in your area or just other fabricators generally, would you say it's your efficiency? Would you say it's your embrace of technology? Or would you say it's something else with like customer service maybe?
You know what? On the sales side, we're really good with customer service.
Okay.
We try to push back even if when it's not our fault, but we still kind of give up and say, well, look, we don't want to create an issue with the client. It's part of doing business, if you will. We just installed a job for a builder in Indiana, Diamond Peak. The client did not like the material they got, even though we shared it with them. They thought it was the picture did not reflect how blue the material was. So we told them, here's this and that and that, and see if they would take, you know, some monetary. We changed it. You know, long story short, we changed the material. They picked different material, different colors, because MSI did not have the shade they wanted. No blue. So we are really good on customer service. I think we have not lost a builder we don't want to lose. You know, some builders you don't want to work with over time. You find out they're slow to pay, they're hard to work with, they're not organized. But all the builders we want to work with and that came our way, we take care of them. They're still with us. I think they are not naive builders. They're not gonna keep you around if you have bad quality. And quality, we're very aggressive on pricing. I'd like to think that I'm a good value. And in order for you to be a good value, you have to drop your cost per square foot, and you have to be efficient. So I think we have a good formula, I guess. I don't think I'm the best ever or the best in the nation. I just think that we're good. We work on a program. Actually, this book made it to Arik from Cambria, and he said, just one second. Do you know who Arik is?
I don't think so. No.
He's the sales manager for Cambria.
Okay.
He's really hawkish, very strong-willed, aggressive guy, I heard. I don't know him. But our sales manager and regional manager got hold of our book, this book right here, which is what we have to builders. And we list, for instance, we have a glossary, and then we have, you know, our entire program in there. We have 93 colors. And the way we go to market is we advertise the book and we give people the price list. And we give them an order form, selection sheet, and basically we just collect POs. So we became more efficient. We gave clients log into MoraWare as well, so they can track. We created their own view in MoraWare. So when they log in, they see their jobs and they see where it stands, whether it's in measure, fabrication, cutting. We're really, really up to speed on MoraWare. I think even on MoraWare, when they came here, they kind of like what we're doing with their software. So yeah. So I guess it's a collection of things. I think it's definitely we're friendly and customer oriented, and I think we do emphasize technology a lot. Yes.
All right. Perfect.
Processes. Yep.
And then as far as being nominated, you know, Fabricator of the Year, what does that mean to you, you know, as a professional that's been in this business for so long?
Yeah, I think it puts a responsibility to share it. I you know, I think I started on this journey about a year ago. You know, you can push, and you can, it comes a point where you should give back, I think. So Baca did last year. Baca held an event, and they asked me if I wanted to not invite anybody. So actually, there's a shop just literally less than a mile away from me. They were here. I didn't think that it was. I think there's enough work for all of us, and I really would like to get the industry to a point where it's all mechanized and people see it. And I think all these little fabricators that have no business being part of this industry, get rich overnight, and you see the crazy pricing. You walk in there and there's dust everywhere. I think these people need to either shape up or get out of the industry. And the only way you can do that is to go to those responsible, good fabricators and get them on board to become more efficient, better, safer for their employees, and really become a company. We have things that small fabricators don't have. We do have not unemployment. We have healthcare. We have 401k. So it's a different way of doing business when you're doing that versus somebody who doesn't have any of that. So I think my dream is to not dream, but I wish that we would elevate the industry up to a point where we're all, first of all, play on a level playing field. And I think all of us will do better. All of us will do better.
All right, fantastic. Was there anything else you wanted to add to this or anything?
No, I tend to babble on and speak too long. So
no, you're perfect.
I can tell you that I think one of the things I shared that at the ISFA conference as well is that using we use local resources. So we actually partnered with the University of Illinois. We're doing a program with them with their industrial engineering. So we're on the second project right now. So they send 4 students, senior students. They look at your operation. They give you advice. It's a good project. It's a good way to meet people and hire good people. But also you get the professor that comes with it, who usually is a lean. This particular advisor is a lean expert. So we really tapped into him. So I think, and I shared that, and I think I got an email from Laura. She said she's gonna contact. She thanked me for the hint. She said it's going to be something she will do in North Carolina. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to add. It's in a nutshell, that's who we are. We try to do the best we can.
All right, fantastic. Well, Omar, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. I appreciate it, man.
Oh, no problem at all. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate your time.